This past weekend, I rediscovered the fun of werewolf movies. Though there are so many good ones in the genre, I watched three specific films that continue to be my favorites. This week, I wanted to share those and explain why I think they are wholly unique and the best of all time. First of all, The Howling is some of that good old-fashioned 80s horror, but it stands out because of its fantastic visual design and insane premise. It's a movie about a serial killer who also happens to be a werewolf. What could be worse than that? Well, how about an entire colony of werewolves? This movie feels like a nightmare with its inventive premise, but it also feels like a mystery that you have to unravel. The scene where Belinda Belasky's character is looking through the files in Dr. Wagner's office and is confronted by Eddie in his werewolf form is completely unexpected and the perfect use of a jump scare. And this is where the movie is magical. Director Joe Dante showcases a love for the werewolf horror genre by paying homage to it. There are references to werewolf lore with its in-jokes and background film cameos. But best of all, its stunning visual effects are amazing, and the designs for these werewolves is my standard to what all werewolves should aim to look like, that they should aim to be. The movie is gory, gritty goodness. When I think of werewolf horror, this is my go-to film. Though there are a lot of better werewolf movies than this one, Stephen King's Silver Bullet is a personal favorite because of its familiarity. It's a nostalgic ride into small-town suburbia and all its charm. This is the type of werewolf story that you feel could happen in your neighborhood when you were growing up. Corey Haim and Megan Follows as the Kosas siblings feel so familiar, and their on-screen family dynamics really feel personal. Haim's sense of adventure allows you to live vicariously through him. It feels like a coming-of-age story that just so happens to have a werewolf in it. Yes, the movie's campy, yes, the world design isn't the best, yes, Gary Busey is in it, but it has a sense of wonder and adventure that resonates with me. The reveal of Reverend Lowe as the werewolf is great, his motivations for murdering his victims is wholly unique, and that dream sequence where the townsfolk turn into werewolves still gives me the chills. I just have a special place in my heart for this movie. It reminds me of a simpler time, and it kind of feels like home. And of course, the greatest werewolf movie of all time is John Landis's An American Werewolf in London. I mean, what else could it be? People have ranked this as the greatest werewolf movie of all time on so many different lists and for good reason. For me, its allure is in the simplicity of the narrative. It's a modern-day fairy tale, almost like a cautionary tale, a folk tale that's an urban legend in your community. David Naughton plays an endearing protagonist that many can relate to. He represents the passions of adventure and youth. He's in a strange land with his best friend Jack, and we see their story unfold before our eyes. There's a real poetry and a real tragedy to it. Similarly, the style of the film is so interesting. Segments of the film are narrated almost like in a stream of consciousness format. The daydreams in the forest and the nightmare sequences are jarring and unexplained. The tongue-in-cheek humor utilized throughout gives the film a real charm and likability, which is further enhanced by the upbeat and albeit ironic song selections that refer to the moon. Those scenes where a dead Jack is trying to convince David to kill himself are so jarring and innately comedic. It is all very clever and fun. But of course, the standout feature to this film is the transformation scene. Seeing David in absolute anguish as he transforms into a werewolf still holds up to this day. It's traumatic, it's painful to watch, and it feels so real. Which is then amplified with the massacre at Piccadilly Circus. The chaos, the terror, this folktale erupts into horrible reality. And this is why the film connects with so many. It feels real. We can see ourselves as these characters because we all know the feeling of being uneasy in our own skin. We all might have a monster within us, but hopefully it's not a werewolf.